sweet dear magical friends. Welcome to another weekly horoscope and taroscope. This time we are taking a look at the week of Sunday, May 15th, 2022, all the way to Monday, May 23rd, 2022. How is everyone feeling? I am pre-recording this video, so by the time you guys see this, you'll have gotten out of the weekend of the total lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And it's a doozy. So I can tell you from where I sit now that I have already gone into things that I had zero confidence that I could get out of, or that I could complete, or that I can do, or that I can finish, or that I could achieve, and have come out the other side having done it, having done the thing, finished the thing, completed. And this is my guidance for you as the last. You're technically, I think we're, out of eclipse season, but the moon is going to disperse the light this last week before we start to build up and seed the new moon at the end of the month. So my guidance to you, intuitively and from personal experience, is to, yes, this total lunar eclipse is T-squaring Saturn in Aquarius. So, of course, it's the pressure, the momentum has built up, the pressure is too great, it's about responsibility, have to do things that are responsible, be mature, yes, but it's in Aquarius. So even though I went into things like, okay, this is life unlived, never done this before. Yes, take responsibility and be mature, but thinking outside the box in a unique, different way with that Saturn in Aquarius. So once you do that, and go in with a little prayer and some, just go for it, you come out the other end having done it. And now I can tell you, I don't even know what haven't lived through the whole thing, because this is Natalie from the past, but I can tell you that what I've already overcome, what I've already done and accomplished, has given me confidence in my own ability. And what is power? How do I define power to you guys? Power is the ability to do something. I have an ability to stand up. I have the power of my legs. I have the power of my brain sending signals to my legs to tell them, stand up. So that's really the point of these nodes being in Scorpio and Taurus, is to remove the fears, Scorpio, South Node, and to give you confidence, Taurus, North Node. So this, honestly, I'm kind of loving this lunar eclipse. I love eclipses because it's like life is, it's like changing. And it's like when everything is up in the air, when there is chaos, it gives you space to make big changes. Whereas when everything is status quo, it's so hard to make anything new happen. It's so hard to change or to grow or do anything different or innovate, because there's no need to, because everything's already being run and controlled. And so honestly, I love this energy. I'm like, let's do it. Even though, we've all been looking at this eclipse and the ones in the fall, like, okay, this is going to be very gnarly. This is so intense. It's so serious. It's so consequential. And particularly because of other things that are happening in the sky, this is going to be setting some precedent for a few years, things that are going to open up. So it's a really good indication. If you are on my Patreon, you know that you have some journaling, some astrological, biographical, astrological journaling to record your life and to sort of time capsule everything. So anyway, this week on, let's go ahead and start, because I just wanted the strongest message that I can say about this week ahead is it's about time that you've met these challenges so that you can overcome them and be restored your own confidence in being a divine being incarnating in a physical body and one step further master of your reality and feeling confident in the physical material world around you. That you remember how magical you are and you feel magical and you feel that no matter what is physically happening or changing, that because you are this divine memory, this divine consciousness, that you're always confident no matter what's happening around you. And this pressure that's building and climaxing over the weekend, particularly Sunday night, is when it really opens up, that you're left with a stronger you, and what you're flushing, what you're draining out, what is not giving you vitality and life force is the resistance. So Sunday, May the 15th, 2022, this evening or early in the morning, depending on where you are on planet Earth, is the total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, and you're draining what you're ready to let go of on a conscious level or on a subconscious level. If you remember, I don't remember when this was, but it was when I got the download about speaking about astrology differently. So when you are more conscious, you can use all of these energies for your benefit, no matter what it is. No matter if I say it's a gnarly aspect or a crunchy eclipse, doesn't matter. It's more energy for you to use for your benefit. And then when the aspects are easy, when everything just rolls according to plan and it's green lights down the street, then enjoy it. Have fun, enjoy the embodied experience, and take a breather and relax half a second. So on Sunday, I want you to really look at where you might be feeling the resistance. And just like I outlined in great detail and depth, the vlog, how to heal and move on. If there's fear, if there's paranoia, if there's suspicion, if there's doubt, if there's anything lower vibrationally, it just doesn't feel good to feel, that's there. Put that aside for a second and reassume either your divine masculine, your divine feminine, your mother archetype, your father archetype, and parent that feeling. Talk to that part of you that feels scared, worried, whatever it happens to be. The subliminal self. That is how you're going to work on yourself to remove the resistance. So in electronics, when you remove resistance, more electricity flows, more energy flows. The same thing is true with us. So when you see people talking about blocked chakras, and actually part of the inspiration for that vlog is I had a consigliere session, and this woman was just this, she was just very, very, she had been through so many, I mean, almost like a resume, almost like a list of things to check off of all these different healing modalities, healing methods, healing, just all these different ways to heal. I mean, she just went through like all these different, I can't even name them because there's so many, and like some I've never even heard of, like all these different techniques to heal specifically. And you know, she's like, but I'm still not there, and I'm still not like healed. Like, what is this? What's going on? And you know, oh no, I did tarot, so it was a tarot session. Okay, so it was a psychic tarot reading, so I remember her. I'm getting more memories now. So, but when I tuned into this energy, and then there was more personal message for her, which I'm not going to, of course, disclose. And afterwards is the result that vlog, How to Heal and Move On, because it's something that brought my attention to the specificity. What is the specific, like, let's get to the root of this. And we have a lot of energy for that, with Mercury being retrograde and this particular Mercury trine Pluto cycle thing that we're in. I mean, it's going to happen 6 times when it doesn't usually happen that many times. So there's, and this total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, it's all about getting to the very root. Whatever you think is, it's not on the surface. There's so much more. So I recommend anyone that, even if you saw it already, re-watch that vlog and apply it. You have to do it. It's not enough to just watch me talking about it. You have to apply these techniques. So when you do that, when you release your actual parents, your biological or adoptive mother and father, release them of the archetype. Because when you're born and that subliminal self is being programmed from mom's last trimester of pregnancy to age 7, you don't know any better. They are that archetype for you. If they beat you, you grow up to think that that's love. If they neglect you, you grow up to think that's love. Whatever is going on, they're the whole world for you. So whether they cared about you or didn't, when you were still forming, that's what you believed. But now that you're an adult and you're watching this on some kind of platform, you're here now and you have ability to heal yourself, and you have an interest in healing yourself, and you're curious to figure out your own motivations, and you're interested in your own subconscious, and you've got this energy about you where you're like, no, I want to know more. I want to figure it out. I want to understand myself. Or maybe you want to understand another person, or maybe you want to understand a relationship or your past or your parents, whatever it happens to be. That's the way to open it up, is as I've described in that vlog. So I highly recommend, if there's anything painful coming up that you can see as a resistance, as a block to you feeling confident, to you feeling safe, to you feeling secure, to you feeling stable. These are all the North Node and Taurus things. So the first half of May, you felt that way about something with that solar eclipse in Taurus conjuncting Uranus. You were leveling up. So from, April 30th to May 15th, whatever was starting and growing, whatever you were excited about, that's telling you about where you will prosper, where you will succeed, where you will take something, even if it already exists, to a higher dimension. Now this total lunar eclipse in Scorpio is helping you clear the way of resistance to your success. So it's a blessing. How do you feel? I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, I did things that I just started. I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. Well, let's just see. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to learn as well. I would say learn as fast as I can, but on a Mercury retrograde, I knew that I would have to redo things, or that things would have to be done again. So I allotted forgiveness for myself and for the situation for that. And sure enough, there were a couple things I had to do a couple different times. And I kind of laughed to myself, because as slow and as careful and as thorough as I was, I still had to go back and do it again. And it's funny, because when I noticed, like, the first or second time that I had to go back, the thing actually visually looked different to me. So the first time I did it, it looked a certain way to me. And then I went back because it was done wrong. And then I went forward again, and I saw the way it was supposed to happen, or the way it was supposed to go, or put together, what have you. And I thought, oh my God, that's so weird. I had a movie on in the background, and I think that just pulled a little bit of my attention. So I kind of, I don't know, but it's Mercury retrograde. So if you go back, you're going to see more, things are going to look differently, and that's of benefit to you. So if you are doing anything even if it's new, even if you're trying to do something new, go real slow, slow and steady, and allot time and forgiveness for having to go back and do this again. So this total lunar eclipse could be bringing something up from the past, an issue that was an issue before, but you might have just been missing a piece to really conclude it and deal with it that you might get at this total lunar eclipse. Yes. So drain the drain, and what you will be left with is confidence and trust in yourself and self-empowerment that, oh my God, I did it. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I learned and I tried and I applied myself and said a little prayer and like I did it. I did it. That's why Saturn's hard on all of us, because Saturn wants you to prove it to yourself that you can do something. And when you take responsibility and you own the issue, the problem, the hiccup, the confusion, the frustration, when you take ownership of these things, now it's under your control. And you have to develop, or you already have the ability to fix it, to find the solution, to make it better, to win, to succeed. But that requires that self-empowerment, the ability. Remember, ability is power. Power is ability. So when you own something, you're saying, I either have the ability, I have the power, or I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find it. I'm going to learn how to do it. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep going until it gets done. I'm going to keep going until I figure it out. So Saturn, ruling fear and humor, is saying, if you can rise to this challenge and flush yourself in your life of the drain of whatever has been taking your vitality, your life force, your creativity, your joy, your passion, your ambition, oh my God, the rewards are just out of this world. Out of this world. Saturn used to be the end of the planetary system and represents boundaries. This is our neighborhood, this is our area, and we're not going to go, or everyone stay within the playpen, okay? We're just going to stay in the sandbox, don't leave the sandbox. This is where it's safe. But the end is also the beginning, and the beginning also has an end in it. So whatever the end of that boundary is actually the beginning of a whole freaking, the physical body. When you leave the physical body, you separate your consciousness from your physical body. You go astral project, and you're flying all around the solar system. So I can go off on Saturn because I'm Saturn's child here over here, but that's what I want to say about Sunday. So you guys are watching this Monday morning. However you feel, however it went, and I'm going to say everyone's stressed out. Everyone's being confronted with their own darkness. So forgive everybody, like immediately, and restore your power and your ability, your responsibility for yourself, with yourself, and confidence that you're going to be okay no matter what. And however you're feeling, start again. So what I mean is, let's say you lost your temper Saturday night, or let's say you made a big mistake Friday, middle of the day Friday, and you're like, oh well shit, I just blew it, let me just ruin the rest of my life. Let me, if you wanted to say, oh F it, I ruined it, now it's all gone. No. Don't give up on yourself. If some ugliness got out and manifested either in your, let's say you said something, or you physically took action, or your behavior, it came through in your behavior, whatever it happens to be, restore some faith in yourself. Let that show you exactly where you want to rush towards in terms of your healing, okay? And then don't fall for it again. Because this full moon in Scorpio, this total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, is like a bait. There's going to be things, there's going to be something that's going to just like the snake charmer. Okay, so I'm seeing the Baphomet. I don't know if you can see this. Like, do I have him anywhere? I probably do somewhere, not within my arm's reach right now. The Baphomet has this devil goat head. And it's not that sinister, to be honest. I have a passion for esoteric symbolism. It's not bad. Let's just take the devil card. Let's take the devil card. She's showing me the Baphomet, but let's talk about it in the devil card so that you can visualize it. That is a normal human that turns into the Baphomet, and I'm getting Mars Neptune with this. She's showing me Mars, but I'm going to talk about it, but this is, just go with me here. So, normal human that turns into the Baphomet, that turns into the devil, and that's when it happens with that goat head. So, allegorically speaking, it's a warning to not shapeshift into that. Don't fall for it. Don't take the bait. Now, some people won't be able to help it. They're still very compulsive, or they're still very obsessive or paranoid or fearful, or they have power issues. Maybe it's a Sun Pluto person and they're just trying to control the situation or over control themselves. Or maybe someone's being real cruel to themselves and they're projecting it onto you. Or maybe someone's accusing you of cheating and you're like, what are you talking about? But they're the ones cheating, so they're projecting it onto you. You know, like whatever it is, there's going to be a lot of that. That all belongs in entertainment. All of that belongs in movies and in TV shows. Not so fun in real life. So don't you take the bait. Okay, that's a lot for Sunday. Oh, Monday. I thought it wasn't, because I'm recording this and I'm not live streaming, I have to look differently where the numbers are. Okay, so on Monday the 16th, the moon is in Sagittarius by now, and there's something coming up about, okay, give me a second here. I'm calling this day the Storyteller because I always see the campfire with people around, everyone sort of sharing their life experience, sharing their stories. It's like sharing the story of how you became brave. Sharing the stories of your life, of how you became a mystic, of how you became a mentor, of how you became the best in your profession, how you became married, how you became a father, how you became the owner of your own business, how you became whatever it is, whatever happens to be, you're at that campfire and you're telling the stories of every little piece that it took. Well, it really started when I was 5, but then the next big thing of consequence happened when I was 25, and then I became successful the way you know me at 47, and then it's sort of like that. I'm getting like this huge big wide perspective. So what do you believe about yourself? Because this moon in Sag is going to oppose Mercury retrograde in Gemini. So you can shed the old mentality, you can shed an old belief system or a part of it. You can let go of something. You can really let go of anything that's acting as resistance to you having some confidence and faith in yourself, and making it that, because that's already making a judgment. And with this is sort of information-y, so you're missing some information or you're getting some new information. And with that trine to Jupiter in Aries, I feel like that's very uplifting to help you believe in a new path for yourself, or a new path, a new way forward. Aries is the pioneer. It wants to be the first, wants to be the best, wants to be the only, wants to be wants to define the self. So a healthy functioning ego is not negative at all. Everyone needs a healthy functioning ego to operate in daily life and in daily existence. So when you get to that point where you can be, use your ego healthily and you can enjoy it, there's nothing wrong with you can be competitive if you're, like let's say you're an Aries, you can be competitive. You just don't want to be competitive with someone you maybe love very dearly and very closely and risk alienating or sacrificing or losing that connection or that bond, that relationship. You want to maybe play tennis with them or play soccer with your friends, or it just belongs in its right place. So I kind of like that energy a lot on Monday. I think it's pretty cool, but just try to keep an open mind. So all I'm gonna say, keep an open mind. Tuesday. Take deep breaths. Breathe deeply. Circulate the energy. Circulate the energy. Hydrate. Tuesday. That moon in Sagittarius will now trine Venus in Aries. So this total lunar eclipse has Venus with Chiron in Aries. So this is that revealing the vulnerability and some insecurity about either doing the thing, striking out on your own path, taking action or behaving, changing your behavior, or something about judging your own feeling. Like, I wasn't allowed to be ambitious because my dad had to be the best at everything, and my dad had to have all the attention, so I couldn't be ambitious. I couldn't be strong and powerful, or I couldn't wear makeup growing up because, mom just had to be the most beautiful everything. Only mom could wear makeup, and we were like freaking like whatever there. I really feel like this Venus in Aries is touching on something kind of like that for you guys. And with the moon trining this Venus in Aries, I feel like that's helpful. I think it's really, really helpful. Which is why I'm calling this healing. On Tuesday, I'm calling it healing. So I feel like it's going to be healing the insecurities that also, and I already called this like before Venus entered Aries, just looking at what Venus was going to do going through Aries. I'm like, I know this is going to be hard and painful for women, hard and painful for feminine energy, hard and painful, and pretty much a battleground. And it's coming up so that you can give it your attention and your focus, so that you can alchemize and change the energy. So however this is manifesting on a personal level, look at and be honest with yourself about these insecurities, about how it feels to feel so crummy, how it feels to feel so insecure, how it feels to feel so restricted and put down. Let yourself really feel that, so that you can come out and be a contrast, mother or father or both, to yourself, to reparent that subliminal self. You heal it all up, and then let yourself, that wounded part of yourself, feel the positive talk that you're talking to yourself as your own mother, as your own father. Let yourself feel those words and let yourself feel soothed. I know I sound fucking crazy, but that's me. But it works. Okay? So everything I say, everything I teach, all of my acolytes, I always tell everyone to test it. Watch it work for you. Everyone needs to have their own spiritual experience before I ask anyone to trust and believe. Guys, I'm back at 100%. perfect accuracy for my psychic tarot readings ever since, when did I bring them back? Whenever I brought them back, because they've been on live Zoom. So I do a pre-meditative session, and like the confirmations are immediate. The feedback is immediate. So it's just like a little sidebar here for a second. When those confirmations do come through for you guys make like the cutest I'm calling it like the confirmation faces. Like you guys get these cute, you guys have like the cutest little faces when these confirmations happen. When I say something that only you know, there's no way I would know. It's part of like, hey, I got it. Got your energy, I got the answers, I got all of them, I'm remote viewing. And it's like a feather or something tickled you. You kind of go, sorry. But you kind of like, something with you guys do this funny thing, and it's like kind of consistent. Like I've been seeing it. You guys go like little, oh my God, you guys. My dog stepped on a bee. My squirrel got bit by a flea. My mom stepped on my knee. Guys, it's hilarious. Is anybody else so excited for Monday? Okay. Because the trial resumes. The trial resumes. What day are we in? Hold on. We're still on Tuesday. Sorry. Really digressed there. I don't even remember why I was... Okay, so like I was saying, the moon in Sagittarius will square Mars, Neptune. Mars and Neptune in Pisces. Go slow, because I want you to take a rest. Neptune energy is always like... just takes, you feel very tired. Rest, sleep, nap when you need to. Otherwise, I feel like you may misfire, and it would be a shame. So just take care of yourself. Rest. Just rest. Okay. Wednesday, the 18th. Steering force. So I'm calling this day steering force because we've got the sun trining Pluto, and we've got Mars conjuncting Neptune in Pisces. So with this sun and Pluto energy, guys, sun Pluto energy, I like it. I really do. I think it's a much more difficult, even with the trine, like whatever it is, I feel like it's definitely more difficult than Mercury Pluto, which I am, Mercury Pluto. I don't know if you can hear that. So Sun Pluto is a lot of force to steer. A lot. So all of you that are born with Sun Pluto, you have a lot of force, a lot of power, and you chose to incarnate with this aspect in your natal energies to understand it and understand yourself so that you can steer it powerfully and responsibly and live a good life. So Sun trining Pluto can restore some power to you. Now, because of how karma works, the law of cause and effect, for some people it might be a disempowering moment, or you might feel disempowered. Just because it's a trine doesn't mean you're gonna like it. It just means the energy is flowing. There's no resistance to the energy flow. So I would take a look at whatever if you feel the feelings of, check your motivation and be honest with yourself. That's the only way any of this is going to work, is if you're honest with yourself. You won't be able to use this stuff to achieve nefarious ends. You'll just self-destruct. And that's part of the fallacy. That's part of the lie. When I hear people saying, I'm using demons to do this, and I control this demon, and I control this entity, that's all ego. They're not getting anywhere. And I kind of ask a couple of soft questions about what they're really getting out of this. They're not getting anything. It's ego. They're getting an ego stroke is what they're getting. So Sun Pluto is kind of like that. Like, even if people think that they're successfully manipulating a person or a situation or an outcome, they're not. And it's part of the deception. It's part of the lie. It's just like you can't. So if someone can convince you of something and give you this guarantee, you know, like let's with this example of like, oh yeah, this demon's gonna do all this stuff for me, and I'm working with this demon, and like blah 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 blah. It's fallacious, and it's just an ego stroke, and you're not. And it's gonna be some time before that kind of even comes to light. Just like compulsive behavior takes a long time. I remember when I was in compulsive behavior, and I just knew I couldn't stop myself yet. I just knew, you know, like compulsive spending or compulsive eating or compulsive reading. That was a big thing for me. Like I remember I would sit in my car. I love my car. I love having a car. It's such a safe place for me. It's such like a climate controlled, safe, mobile, like, I don't know, I just love it. But like I would sit in my car and I would just read, like in my phone, like just, and I wouldn't be able, and like a lot of times right after work, like I would get in the car and I would just sit there for like a really long time, and I just couldn't stop and just drive home. Like I would just be reading. I don't know. So it's like, but whatever it happens to be, spending or whatever, that will need some time to unpack. But back to Wednesday, that Sun in Taurus trining Pluto in Capricorn retrograde, you can see something coming to light within yourself, and you can see where either how far you've got to go. Don't feel bad about that. Don't judge it. Or how far you've come, and maybe even a little bit of both. Like, honestly, I'm kind of loving this eclipse, and I know that people are just freaking out right now, but it's only because I've come such a freaking long way. If I were living this eclipse 10 years ago, I would be, I don't know if I would have made it. I might have just like imploded or something. But I mean, having compassion for all of yourselves, your past self, your future self, setting your future self up for some kind of easier time. You know, there are 10-year-olds going through this eclipse. There are 100 centurions of all ages, people going through this eclipse. Everyone's at a different place in their lives, so everyone's feeling it differently. So likewise, wherever you are in your life, this Sun trining Pluto can help you feel empowered, and you can steer your force in a very, and this goes back to those messages I got before about talking about the astrology. So when you're conscious and you're aware, when it comes up, the urge to control or manipulate or overpower, you can alchemize that feeling. You can alchemize yourself and reintegrate a part of yourself back to you, reintegrate some power and ability and confidence back to yourself, back into you. Whereas if you're not very conscious on a Sun-Pluto trine on Wednesday, the subliminal self is going to be the one speaking for you, acting for you, behaving for you. And are you going to like those results? Are you going to like getting that karma back? No. The answer is no. So also on Wednesday we got, is that Wednesday? Oh, it is. Okay. Is Mars conjuncting Neptune in Pisces. So Mars is the cutting agent, and Neptune is the fog. I'd choose being a Sun-Pluto person over a Sun-Neptune person any day of the week. Anyway, so Mars-Neptune, you're cutting, it's interesting. It's like cutting spirituality. And remember, spirituality is how you feel based on what you believe. So if you're feeling crummy, or if you're feeling crummy consistently, there's something that you need to upgrade about what you believe, about life, about people, about your place in the world. Something. So don't be afraid to change that. Don't be afraid to update. Okay? So I'm calling Wednesday convicted because subconsciously, if people are really holding on to these, if they're holding on to certain beliefs and the subliminal self is running the show, they're going to really fight for it. They're going to really fight to keep oppressing other people, or they're going to really fight to keep manipulating a situation, or they're going to fight real hard, but they're going to be totally convicted. They're going to be totally convicted. So for you, I feel like you being more conscious and being more self-possessed and caring about self-mastery, I feel like you guys are going to move forward in changing your destiny in a really big way, because that Sun Pluto, it's like you guys are brave enough and strong enough and curious enough to allow your ego to die over and over, to be reborn as a pure ego, a purer motivation, a purer self, and letting go of more and more fear. That Sun Pluto, letting go of more and more. It's honestly like this ascension stuff and the path of self-mastery, it's really, I feel like the more that I'm doing this in a mentorship position and more in a and just doing a lot of psychic tarot readings, doing like a lot of remote viewing, and with my abilities, it's so much more about what Bruce Lee said, hacking away the inessential. It's about removing resistance. It's about what you are letting go of. It's about how much you can shed. So don't worry about like accumulating or bringing in new. If you just focused on cleaning house and getting rid of and shedding, you're so on the right path. So I feel like you guys are probably feeling super, almost messianic on Wednesday. Very, very empowered in yourself. Very convicted in your own spirituality, in your own beliefs. That you know, even if you feel it, fear isn't real. Hatred isn't real. Conflict isn't real, and it's not your choice. I also want to say, because God knows what kind of headlines are coming up in the world stage, in the world news, to let go and detach. Because this is like, Earth is just this, so I'm on Book Talk, on TikTok, of course, and there's this thing called a Book Nook where you like take an old cereal box or an old oatmeal box and you hollow it and you make like a little mini diorama. And if you guys already know that I love like all of the miniatures, but you make this little mini thing and for your bookshelf, and it's like your books, and then there's this little world, little miniature world, whether it's like a little forest or a little Mexican restaurant or a little UFO space station. Like we can do what I think when I get some bookshelves, I think I'm gonna make a book nook. So it's kind of like that's what Earth is though. So yes, we've over-processed the land and we're gonna run out of food, and yes, we're gonna run out of fresh water, and yes, we're gonna swing from population to overpopulation, and there's not gonna be enough, yes, and 2040 society is gonna collapse. Yes. Okay, yes. Not saying yes, all of that is true, but for the purpose of this, to separate you from your attachment, to separate you from fear and worry, just say, yeah, okay, it is going to happen. You got to detach from that and say, you're not here to live forever. You're not here to, if you have the money to solve world hunger, if you have the money to stop, if you have the money to bring back the ozone layer, that's your karma to do it. It's your karma to make that choice. But if it's not your karma. It's somebody else's karma. That Mars, Neptune, you can detach from that. You can let go. Your power and your ability, what is within your power and your ability to control, to do, actions to take, words to speak, petitions to sign. Do what you can in all the situations in your life, and then you release and you let the outcome go. You let everything go. Okay? Because I feel that destiny can kind of move in a big direction on Wednesday, and that you can but it's like, how conscious are you to make the choice? And don't worry if this is not like physically, tangibly manifesting, because I feel like this is so internal for you. With like this Piscean energy, it's very, very spiritual. So just focus on the feelings and focus on you taking care of yourself and you removing your own internal resistance to feeling confident and safe, successful, prosperous, able in yourself, and like all of that, because that's all North Node in Taurus. So whatever's coming up, let this lunar eclipse and all these little hits of the transits show you the resistance, show you about yourself so that you can alchemize it and you'll feel confident. I'm telling you, I feel way more confident now. I haven't even lived the fullness of it yet. Okay. Thursday the 19th. Okay. This day is changing beliefs. We have Mercury at 1 degree Gemini retrograde sextiling Jupiter at 1 degree of Aries. And we also have the Capricorn moon conjuncting Pluto. Ooh, moon Pluto. That's like... Okay, let's not digress here. So, the Mercury sextiling Jupiter, I feel like you're returning to an energy that helps you have confidence in a different approach. A different approach. Changing beliefs, changing responses, changing thoughts, changing ideas. But with that Jupiter in Aries, you have a little uplift, you have a little bump in confidence to do that, to reconsider. I am so excited because of my Mercury retrograde projects. I'm always missing something. I'm always missing things that I can't finish the project, but I always pick up some of these things. So I always pick up something that I missed, but I'm always still missing something else. So let it take its time. Let it be what it wants to be. Let it... I don't think I'm a perfectionist. I think I just have a passion for quality, and I like things how I like it, and I have a passion for structures. Because I know it's Capricorn and integrity. Great segue. Moon conjunct Pluto and Capricorn. Integrity, the power of integrity. The power of integrity gives you so much security that what you build on top of it is going to last. It's going to stand the test of time. And it's going to weather all of the storms if it's built on integrity. So I feel like when that moon hits Pluto in Capricorn, that you're going to feel very emotionally connected with where you stand, how far you've come, and how far you've got to go with your personal integrity, and how powerful you feel, based off of that. Okay. So that Mercury retrograde, it's almost like you discover a new tool that, maybe you were, it's like sharper scissors is what she's showing me. So, this must be something where you were with dull, and really like forcing it, and then you get a pair of sharp scissors that you found in a drawer. But don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid of having different responses and trying different responses. Don't be intimidated if other people around you are changing and having different responses to things. Like, just go with the flow. So, but believe in the power of integrity, because I'm seeing like a lot of people really don't believe in the power of integrity, and that's fear. That's that same fear energy. But you have to see it working in your life. Like, you have to experiment and try it and see it work to believe in it. That's how people are. So that's why I tell everybody to watch it working for you. Test everything out. Everything I'll tell all my acolytes that I teach, test it out and see it work for you. Have your own spiritual experience, and that'll help you believe, and that'll help you accept, and that'll help you feel empowered, and that'll help you feel stable. North Node in Taurus wants us all to feel stable, confident. Okay. Friday. I'm in love. May the 20th. Then the sun moves into Gemini. Let's see. Sun moves into Gemini. Those days are always kind of epic, because you're going from like the end, you're going from the 29th degree to 0. So it's like reaching a big high and then starting over all over again. So when the sun moves into Gemini, focus on your conscious connections. Yes, like people, but also in your brain. Also in your brain. Remember the idea of the fuse, of the wire, of electricity. When you reduce the resistance, more energy flows. And this isn't when I'm talking about restraint, like when you restrain the psychic force, its power is doubled. That's like building it up like a dam and letting the power build and letting the power build and letting the power build, and then unleashing it all in one force, one big force. When you remove the resistance, all of that force that you've doubled up because you've been restraining it will go fast and smooth, immediate, nothing clogging it, and you're going to really hit your mark. But if you shoot your shot and you send the energy through, she's showing me that thing, it's like a plastic tube, like when you go to the bank and you put your stuff in the, do they still have that? Probably not. And then it goes like up to the bank teller. But if there's something clogging it, or think of clogged arteries, it's gross. Sorry. I'm sorry if anyone has clogged arteries. But you get what I'm saying. Then it's just not it's gonna reduce. So it's very dual. I'm calling it dualistic because it's a sign of the twins. It's a sign of choice, options, one or the other. The polarity, the dualism, the dynamic, the balance, the holding of the tension, the power of choice. You're going to be the good twin or the bad twin. I'm just like, there's no good twins and bad twins. I'm just saying. The duality within yourself in that Geminian area of your life. So I feel like this opens up some options. I feel like Sun entering Gemini, you're going to want more options. You're going to want to learn more. You're going to want room. It's a mutable energy. You're going to want flexibility. So just try to think flexibly. That's all I'll leave you with. The moon in Aquarius will trine Mercury retrograding in Gemini. So I love this for great ideas, because on my Mercury retrograde projects, I'm a lot better now. I know how to really do it now. If I feel frustrated that I'm missing something, I know to let it go immediately, because the perfect thing is waiting for me. It's waiting for me. And so when I get that perfect thing during this Mercury retrograde, it was one of the things that I was so frustrated that I didn't have last year or the year before that, since like the end of 2019 till now, since I started these projects. So now I'm like, okay, if this isn't the right time for it, it's not ready to unfold yet, or there's something, there's just some element missing, whether it's a skill that I need to learn, or an app, or a tool, or timing, or something, whatever, it doesn't matter. But just trusting that it'll hit. Guys, like I think the day, it was when Mercury stationed, I had this, and I'm so happy and I'm so relieved that I didn't force it ahead, the projects, because it wouldn't have been as good. And I got such a gem when Mercury stationed retrograde of how to make it so much better. And everything just like came together for me, and I just got so excited, and I was so relieved that I didn't go as fast as I wanted to, because then I would have had that much further to backtrack and reverse. One time on the expressway, my father missed his exit, and he like reversed all the way back, and it was really far. Don't tell anybody that I'm saying this. He reversed all the way back. It was very dangerous. And then he went on then he took the off ramp. But it's kind of like that. So like whatever, don't push, don't force, and don't resist big forces happening to you, trying to change you, evolve you, level you up. So even if you're like an ambitious type and you're already very brave, and there's resistance to you doing your thing, depending on what it is, don't let anything scare you off. Be patient with yourself. Make it, I don't want to say make it perfect, but like make it as good as possible. And look at everything working to your benefit. Whatever you think is a delay or an obstacle or a roadblock, all of it is working to your benefit, I promise. So I think there are going to be some great ideas on Friday for you guys. Speaking of great ideas, Saturday, the 21st, is when we have a powerful new seeding. We have the Sun-Mercury interior conjunction, Cazimi. Oh, speaking of which, okay, so I am replacing my Astrology 101 classes that are normally available to my emperors and empresses and my Hierophants and High Priestesses over on Patreon. I'm replacing Astrology 101 with body language reading and intuition study. That's something that I've actually taught before in live classrooms. Actually, I think I even taught bigger classes for that than my kickboxing classes when I was when I'm a certified kickboxing instructor. But I think 20, 30, yeah, okay, yeah, they're bigger classes. So, and I think part of this is watching so much coverage on the trial and just like watching Amber Heard. Here's what is interesting. I used to think that if you were a good actor, that you'd be a good liar. Like that sounds reasonable, right? But watching Amber on the stand testifying, I don't think that's true. I changed my position based on new information. Don't be afraid to say that. Take what I just said and use it in your life if you need to. Okay? Because she's not a good liar. Now, I haven't really seen her act, so maybe she's just not a good actor either. I don't think Magic Mike is a good movie to judge her acting ability. I haven't seen her in anything else, I don't think. So, but yeah, I really think that you guys are going to love this so much more. So much more. Because I'll still be talking about astrology. I'm obsessed with astrology. I would be talking about astrology whether I was being hired to talk about it or not. Oh, and I'm also adding, this is interesting. So I've been commissioned to do this for someone, and I want to make it available for everyone. So there is now a very specialized natal chart reading for you on the website for your psychic ability. This is going to be very, very specialized, where I will do your chart analysis specifically and only from that standpoint. Okay, and then I'll, of course, because I'm a professional, this is my thing, this is my thing, and that I'm going to give you guys tips and guidances in your natal chart reading as well. And so, yes, I'm really, really excited about that. So if you guys are interested in that, that is all on the website, TheFirstArteagan.com as well. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, all of that from the Cazimi, talking about the Cazimi, because this is a seeding that is going to last for like a really long time. I think like 4 months. This is going to be the start of a cycle that's going to last quite a long time. So here's the thing. You're not going to miss any of these important transits, whether you're paying attention to astrology or not. It's happening through you. So you might know what it is if you're studying astrology, but you will feel things. Like you will feel stuff. Everyone lives life. So when you're more conscious, you have more ability, which means you have more power to work the energies, and you know the timing of like, wow, my energy is not in money and career, it's in relationships, but all I want to do is money and career, but I got to do this relationship stuff or this family stuff, or I got to, you have more orientation. On the subconscious level, you're going to see yourself in your life. You're going to get your karma kind of showing itself to you, and you're going to have to reconcile that, and we hit the wall over and over again until we learn and change, until we grow, until we open up ourselves, until we learn how to alchemize. So on Saturday, it's at the 0th degree of Gemini too. 0 is this infinite potentiality. Like anything is possible. So journal. You're not going to miss it. Journal. There could be some like huge important conversations. It doesn't have to be, but I think this is going to be more of the idea, the genius coming through in the Gemini area of your life. So it's very, very, very powerful. So I would really pay attention to Saturday and get excited for it. Meditate. I would meditate. Trying to think if there's any other like guidance. I'm not getting anything else. Okay. So that takes us to, oh my God, we're over an hour already. I'm chatty. Sunday, the 22nd. The quarter moon, waning, losing in like quarter moon in Pisces, is saying again, release and let go. This is like in the movie, like the grip that's just loosening and loosening and loosening and loosening. That's Pisces. That's Neptune energy, where it's just, it dissolves the boundaries, but it dissolves everything. So it's going to dissolve boundaries, but it's also going to dissolve connections. So the tie that binds can also dissolve every freaking, and you have to be okay with that. You have to Just to let yourself dissolve into oneness. Oneness. And you realize there's no such thing as connection. There's no such thing as disconnection. There's no such thing as attachment, or there's no such thing as detachment. I know I'm getting in a little bit of a... But that's the quarter moon on Sunday. Release and let go. I'm calling Sunday release and let go because it's like you're releasing and letting go of definitely anything neurotic. Definitely the fears. Definitely anything that is super unhealthy mentally for you. And it's also, I read, called the crisis in consciousness. So it's an adjustment time. It's an adjustment period to forgive if you need to forgive, let go, release if you need to let go and release. And okay, so we also on Sunday have Mercury retrograding back into Taurus. So now the last week of April is coming back. Anything that was going on the last week of April, what was it? What was happening? What was going on? That's coming back up in a very manifested way. So if you guys want to look at your charts, it started retrograding in Gemini, but then it's going to turn into Taurus. So it's almost like there's a shift happening where it's not what it seems. It's not what it looked like. It's not what it appeared to be. So one of the things that I did that I didn't have any confidence in myself to do was putting something together, like physically putting things together, this thing that I built. So, but I just, let's see, and I did it. But one of the instructions, I swear, I thought it was like turned and it was wrong. I looked at the instruction again and it was turned differently. That's kind of what's going to happen here. So whether it's someone, you thought you could trust, that turns out you couldn't trust them, or you thought you were going to move here and you're not, or you thought you were going to stay and you're going to move, or you thought the project was going to look like this and it doesn't, it's going to look like that, or you thought you were going to hire this person, you're not, you're going to hire this person, or whatever, it's going to be like that. So look into the Gemini Taurus area, because you're going to physically see something. You're going to physically, that's Taurus, something's going to physically change. That's also Mars in Pisces sextiling Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Something about this is very purifying. And in this case, it's purifying the actions. It's purifying how you are. It's not just about what you're cutting out, it's about what you're cutting in. So it's got this energy of whatever this shift is from Mercury retrograding back into Taurus, it's going to trigger a release of this quarter moon, release and letting go of some belief, of some feeling. You might have to forgive a person, forgive a situation, forgive someone's weakness, forgive someone's moment of weakness, forgive the whole situation itself. And the Mars sextiling Pluto energy is what's giving you the power to act purely, take action on a pure energy, because you don't want to act or behave or speak from an impure, subliminal, toxic space. Sunday's going to be pretty complex. The weekend's going to be complex. So let's move on. Wow. Monday, which I do just lightly want to touch on. Monday the 23rd, the Sun in Gemini sextiles Jupiter in Aries. That's a lucky opportunity. That's luck. That's there can also be something like experiential too. a lucky experience or something like that. And then Mercury at 29 degree Taurus retrograde sextiles Mars at 29 degrees of Pisces. So I feel like you're going to do it over. You're going to redo it, do it over correctly, do it right, do it the way it was supposed to be done the last week of April. Now you're doing it right, you know, it's something like that. There's going to be help there, taking the purified correct action. Okay. Tarot. Time for your tarot. Okay, so we're just going to open up the week ahead. On Wednesday and Friday, we will pick from this growing, and that's the thing, like this is good. I've got 2 more downloads that I put in, and I'm just adding to that, to your bucket of downloads. But for these weeklies, these horoscopes and taroscopes, we're just going to focus on this week ahead. Okay. So, how are you? How you feeling? Honestly, when you do overcome something, either you had to be brave, or you had to go and do something you've never done before, or you had to, you get through it and you feel so good about yourself. You feel so confident and you just love yourself more. You believe in yourself more. And you let everything work for you. Come on. Tell me the strongest energy for this week ahead. Monday to Monday. Change. This is the end. Beautiful friend. So I thought this would be better having the light like this, but maybe it's not. Wow, dang, it's like so deceptive that it's quiet. So it could be like too quiet, and then boom. Something about this week, Monday to Monday, you didn't hear anything, and then it's never the same again. I'm calling this week It's About Time, because honestly, it's about time that you shed this, that you let something go, that you reduced the resistance to you being able and empowered to use the force of your vitality for your benefit, for your own prosperity, for your own happiness, for your own relief, for your own love experience. It's about dang time. So it's a shedding, it's a letting go. Every king must fall. Change is the only constant. So I feel like it's just about time. We're going to open it up. We're going to open it up more, but it's pretty on point. So what else about this week ahead, please? Romeo. An approach. We're going to see what's behind that, though. Oh, look at they're together. It's two. Oh, okay. Bottom of the deck, the 10 of Wands, the Chariot, and the 3 of Cups. This almost feels like a group project. I'm kind of seeing a road trip, actually. I feel like be careful, because if you're going on a road trip and you feel like someone isn't going to carry their weight, like maybe they don't do any driving, they don't want to put up any money for gas or whatever, I feel like you might already know that before you even get in the car. Or there's something kind of weird about a road trip. That's probably a very specific message for someone. And I'm reading for a lot of people. So if any of these details don't resonate, that's a Scooby snack for you and it's for somebody else. But we can all learn from everyone else's message and lessons. So there's something weird about a road trip, like taking on too much, almost like you don't want to say anything to your friends. You don't want, this is like Libra, this is actually, I know it's Cancer, but I'm getting so much Libra energy from this, like Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, where you just don't want to say anything because you don't want to rock the boat, but it's not fair and it bothers you. It's kind of like, overall, there might need to be some adjustments on the team, maybe, or maybe someone's trying, like if there's like a work project, someone's trying their hardest, but they're just not able to do it. For whatever reason, we're not making a judgment. It just looks like it's sort of difficult though, overall. Like someone's not really pulling their weight or something. Page of Pentacles, Six of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Wands. I like this energy because, number one, it's really bookending the change, the theme of change. Like, it's about dang time. I feel like I'm not saying like an alliance is going to shift necessarily. I feel like if anything, it's like maybe instead of saying like the one person that's not pulling their weight, instead of just kicking them out or saying that they are not going to go, you just bring on one other person who will keep up, who will share the load. Like Samwise Gamgee. To bear the load. So I feel like it's kind of like that. And I feel like there might be some advocating for this person or some kind of advocation. Like someone's fighting for innovation. Someone's fighting for change. Someone wants to lead or fighting for their own worth. Or fair compensation, their spot, they're worthy. And you might learn something about the past, or there could be something that was already seated and ongoing. It's like maybe it started very sentimentally, or you hired someone that you're very sentimental about, and there's a change happening, and there's some kind of advocation happening here, where you're standing up, you're fighting for it, you're fighting for something. So I like it better if you're fighting for the change. That Uranian energy wants to level up. Change the vibration. Make it better. Make it cooler. Make it more different. Make it more you. Tell me about the Death and the Four of Swords, please. Ooh. Oh, the Lovers. Ooh, I'm getting whoa, 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 whoa. I just got a cave. Lilith. It's Black Moon Lilith. You will want to see where Lilith is in your chart. That is the area of life where you would rather be outcasted. You would rather be exiled. You would rather be alienated than to be disrespected. Because this is Adam and Eve. But Adam was with Lilith first. And she said, I'm not going to submit to you. You can have Eden. I'll get my own cave. It's so funny. And now there's some issue here. Okay. Ooh. And the World. And the Queen of Pentacles. The Page of Swords. So, in the symbolism of this tarot card, Adam represents the consciousness, the conscious mind. He looks to Eve, who represents the subconscious mind, who looks to Raphael, who represents the superconscious. You have to go through the subconscious to reach the superconscious. But is it balance because she's from his rib? I don't know. I feel weird about this. So for instance, I have Lilith in my 4th house, and that totally actually played out because I'm not going to be around. The mentality is very different. My father's siblings and their children, like I would grow up and when I was a kid, I would say things like, when I grow up, I'm going to work with Martin Scorsese and I'm going to make movies and and like that's how I would talk, like totally convicted, like without skipping a beat, very ambitious. And it just made everyone very uncomfortable. Like like looking back now at those memories and seeing their faces and like what they said and the tone, like it's just a different mentality, and it doesn't make them bad or wrong or like anything like that. But because I have Lilith there, yeah, I don't talk to a lot of family anymore because I'd rather be who I really am and just go for my dreams and just I have to, like, for me there's no such thing as failure because I haven't stopped trying. I only fail at something when I stop trying. So if I'm always trying and I'm always working and I'm always figuring something out, I might be delayed. I might be, boom, obstacle. You can't do this. Okay, I'll go do all of this. I'll do what I can do, and then I'll come back when I'm able to do this thing that I have to do. Like, that's just how I am. So, like, I'm a Capricorn sun, and a healthy ego for Capricorn is we're very achievement oriented. We have goals. We always have to be working for something that we care about, that we believe in. So you want to look at where Lilith is in your chart and see where you would rather be exiled and outcast and called crazy and gaslit rather than be disrespected and scapegoated and made fun of. This is also Geminian. There's options and there's choices. Something weird about this. I don't feel like I hit it yet. Oh, okay. That's it. There's Lilith. There's something about someone's 7th house and their 9th house. The 7th house is your first marriage partner and your 9th house is your second marriage partner. So, okay, that was it. Let's see. Okay, now there's all of this. Honestly, Queen of Pentacles, for me, this is that Taurus. This is that North Node in Taurus energy. This is, you got to take care of your bag. You got to take care of your body. You've got to take care of your mentality. If you're married, if you have kids, if you have a constituency, like, you got to take care of business. But don't be worried about whatever is not your business. Page of Swords. There could be some really nice conclusion. The world and the death energy is really wrapping something up. Really wrapping it up. It's really, congratulations. You are graduated. You are making choices that you've not made in the past. Because here's the thing. The past is not creating your present and not creating your future. You are creating your past because of how you are now creating yourself to be in the present. And that's creating your future. So anyone getting hung up on the past, hung up on the past, hung up on the past is not creating themselves today. feel like you're graduating out of that, and I feel you're feeling way more secure with yourself and your skills, talents, and abilities. This is like a culmination. You could be getting awards, you could be having ceremony, you could be, I don't know, but you're getting something. I feel like you're going to get something like physical, but I feel like it's only because you're already taking such good care of yourself. But like, to focus on your business. What is your business? Stay in your lane. Love your lane. Enjoy your lane, whatever it is. She's looking at this pentacle. She's not looking at any other kingdom or any other body. She's just all loving her own pentacle. In her own world, quite literally. Protected. So it could be that you're graduating in some way of seeing people, because this doesn't have to be like, you know, a love relationship or a marriage or anything. This could just be you in the world, you and people. I do feel like we're going to use a tarot sexual magic for the Knight of Cups. What's all this? Kind of liking the recorded videos. Kind of liking it. It reminds me of 2019 and 2020. Another Queen of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles. Look at that dress. I think this is the one where she's kind of like, oh my gosh. That is, hold on, get it nice. Wow, they really know how to position, like all of the muscles. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles, and then this, again, we have masculine energy, pursuing is the word I'll use, pursuing feminine energy. Look at the star in the background out the window. Pursuing feminine energy. Bam. And we have feminine energy giving to itself. She's looking in the mirror. She's looking out the window. I'm getting a lot of self-love here. Where's the, here it is. The Queen of Pentacles. Coolness, magic of the bay leaves. You must fight coolness and convince your partner to be generous, both sentimentally and materially. This will bring serenity, safety, and sincerity into the couple. Coolness, huh? I feel like that's supposed to be blended with the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, embarrassment, the magic of the verbena. Is it verbena or verbena? I don't know. This isn't Mercury retrograde I can blame either. I just don't know how to I read and don't speak. So I read and I learn words and I have no idea how to pronounce them. Magic of the verb, whatever. Embarrassment, uncertainty, unease, and the fear of getting involved must be overcome. That's crazy because look how beautiful she is. And she's embarrassed. I feel like there's like a perception issue here. There's some kind of, I don't know, there's either like a lack of sincerity, a lack of confidence. But it really stems in like a lack of self-appreciation, a lack of self-care. What did I say last week? I said something, how did it go? I know I was talking about confidence. Oh, that's what it was. Confidence and self-worth. So in my example, in the week, in like early days, like Thursday, Friday, like leading up to the lunar eclipse on Sunday evening, I was faced with something that built my confidence because I had never done something, and I did it and I completed it, and I now have confidence that I can put certain things together. That's not self-worth though. Self-worth is, I know I'm great before I put something together and don't know how, and after I do put it together successfully or don't put it together successfully. Whether I'm able to put something together or do this or do that or say this or say that, whatever, doesn't affect my self-worth. There's something here. And I feel like it might be, it's either self-confidence or self-worth. Like there's an energy here that's never done something, has never done it before, and is sort of shying away because they've never done it before. Or there's a lack of self-worth and nothing will change that. You've got to change it within yourself. You can get more confidence by practicing, learning, applying, asking questions, taking classes. You can build self-confidence, but you cannot buy or purchase or enroll in self-worth. You can find inspiration. You can talk to an astrologer about why you don't feel worthy. You can talk to, you can get a psychic tarot reading, and you can do stuff to try and figure it out, but it's still going to come from you. It's still going to be, the astrologer isn't going to restore that to you if you give them the power to, and then they say really sweet things about your energies and then you feel worthy. That's not going to last because it didn't come from you. You put your power in this other person or the therapist or a psychoanalyst or whatever, or you take a baking class and you bake a cake and they congratulate you. That's self-confidence. But not because you've done it. It's self-confidence because you're getting some positive feedback from someone. But the worth is you gotta do it yourself. Okay, long story short. We can still work with that. We can still work on it. And you can still talk to different people and from different ways, but it's why you guys, I always put the credit back to you guys, because all of these big things have to come from you and within. I just serve. I serve your power. Okay, let's take a look. Last but not least, using the rose gold, tell me more about the Wheel of Fortune, more change, Six of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Five of Wands. That's interesting. I feel like, the Five of Wands is just a little test. It's not like a big deal at all. But it's something that is going to, it's like just enough tension to make a spark. And then I feel like there's some kindling around, there's some tinder around, and before you know it, the Wheel of Fortune has spun, boom, and now it's just like a big fire. Now it's got a life of its own. So, on one hand, be careful, because there could be like one little petty little argument can snowball into some huge thing. But on the other hand, you might have enough dynamic tension. You might be just discomforted enough to change, to hop on a timeline of change and transformation and luck. What's the further guidance? Ooh. Magpie. Reevaluate your priorities. It is time to let go of what you no longer need. So some of you guys are going to have some help with this total lunar eclipse. with the shuffling of your priorities, there's going to be a change with like, oh, this is just isn't, this is not, you know, priority anymore. Oh my God, you guys, I just got an email from Ashley. She's an herbalist and she's opening her own apothic cafe. I will send you guys the link. I believe her store goes live on a weekend coming up, so I will give you all of the details in the description box below. But I think this is so super duper cool, so go check that out. Okay, bye. And the hummingbird. Release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joy is on the way. See, again, reducing the resistance, releasing the density, releasing what you're carrying. It's heavy, it's resistance. New joy is on the way. And the pelican. Choose to follow the path of forgiveness and raise your vibration. So forgiveness is the simplest path, but it's not the easiest to ascension, to self-mastery. So I would say forgive the person, forgive the situation, forgive yourself, forgive it all, and raise and innovate, raising your vibration, and just trust that you can forgive. It doesn't mean you need to like be all up in its face or anything, you know, boundaries, but there's some new priority opening up for you, and it's joyous. It's going to make you feel lighter and breathe easier, and just overcoming things makes you feel like the world is just opening up for you, and it's such a good feeling, and it's so stabilizing somehow. So I love you guys. I'm wishing you all of the very best in the week ahead. I hope that you've enjoyed this weekly horoscope and taroscope. I will be back on Wednesday to channel some more energy for you and open up your downloads with the tarot. So until then, my loves, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.